Okay, we will begin. Arisha will start the interview.
Hi everyone and hi Julia. Thank you for all of you that spend your time with us today. First of all, my name is Arisha. Today we are going to do an interview with our lovely Miss Julia. So the interview is for our assignment under subject Islamic Civilization and Civilization Asia. For your information, this is not a formal interview, but it is also not too casual. The main point for this interview is to exchange knowledge about your country and our country. Today, we will have a few questions from our group members to you, Miss Julia. Let me introduce you to our group members. My name is Arisha, and there's Hazi Aiman, Jalal Fikri, Azim, Amir Aiman, Dania, Lazidrin, Kevin, Dimple, and Daba Maler. So, how are you, Miss Julia? I hope you are doing fine during the pandemic. Would you mind to introducing yourself?
Sure. So I'm Julia Kortek. I am from Poland. I lived in a lot of countries before that. Currently, I do live in Poland, and I study at the Coventry University Wrocław. It's a British university that was launched in Poland recently. So I decided to study there since, speaking English, and I thought it would be easier for me.
I see. Thank you for your information, Ms. Julia. So now let me start by telling you about our university. Management and Science University is a private university in Malaysia located in Shah Alam, Selangor. The university was founded in 2001 as University College of Technology and Management Malaysia, before officially became a full-fledged university in October 2007 and as Management and Youth Science University. The president of MSU is Professor Tan Sri Datuk Wira Dr. Muhammad Shukri Abdul Wajid. The quality education is a must in anything we do at the university, where we embrace the culture of excellence through the learning experiences, be it at the local or international setting. Our graduates excel in both cognitive and non-cognitive skills, having strengths in academic and soft skills through activities. We aim to develop entrepreneurs, professionals, experts, and more as they mold themselves toward being balanced, holistic, and well-rounded in personalities. In-campus and international mobility programs allow for MSU community to realize their true potentials. Other than that, Management and Science University also is one of Malaysia's top university with focus on developing and delivering quality human capital in national and global critical need area. Among these are medicine, health sciences, pharmacy, besides business management and professional studies, education, and social sciences. Besides providing equal opportunity to higher education, the mainstay of MSU existence is academic excellence of international repute. In delivering its commitment to excellence, the university garners accolades from far and wide. MSU currently ranks in the top 100 among the world's top young universities, top 200 among Asia's best universities, and top 301 for universities impact. MSU were ranking placed in the top 51% of the world's best universities and the top 200 for impact on global health and well-being, gender equality, and reduced inequalities. Also, MSU is Asia's first to be recognized by Netherlands based on SCEEU as an entrepreneurial and engaged university, and is the Asia Pacific best brand in education for leadership and human capital development. And thank you. That's all about our university. Next, Daniel will take over the interview.
Thank you, Arisha. Hi, Julia. My name is Dania. So I will share with you about the demography in Malaysia. Malaysia represented by the multiple ethnic group that exists in the country. There are 5.72 million live in East Malaysia and 22.5 million live in Peninsular Malaysia. The Malaysian population is growing at a rate of 1.94% per annum as of 2017. The fertility rates of the three largest Malaysian groups are as follows: Malay Bumiputra 2.4 children per woman, Chinese 1.4 children per woman, and Indian 1.8 children per woman. Malay fertility rates are 40% than Malaysian Indians and 56% higher than Malaysian Chinese. The population in 2017 shows that the Malays and Bumiputra comprise a total of 68.8% of the total population. For the religion in our country, the largest and state religion of Malaysia. Although Malaysia is a multi-religious society, Malaysian constitution guarantees religious freedom. So basically the religion for Malay people are Islam. For Chinese, most Malaysian Chinese follow a combination of Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, and ancestor worship. But when pressed to specify their religion, they will identify themselves as Buddhist. Bahasa Melayu is a national and official language, but English is widely spoken. Other languages such as Chinese, they spoke Mandarin, Cantonese or Hokkien. Iban and Tamil are spoken by minorities. So the tribal history of Malaysia dates back 40,000 years, but Hindus and Buddhist kingdoms spread out across the peninsula from the 3rd century onwards. Islam arrived with Indian and Arab traders in the 30th century in Malacca, was established as the seat of the. Over the following centuries, Islam dynasties across the peninsula and surrounding island. And that's the brief information about the demography of Malaysia. So now we will start the question section and Amir will start with the first question. Thank you.
Okay, hello, Miss Julia. My name is Amir Aiman bin Muhammad Syafrul Bahrun. So the first question that we would like to ask you, can you tell us more about the culture, the religion, and the interracial between the people in Poland?
So about the culture, I think the cultural and religious background are very mixed nowadays, since I think around 95% of Polish population is Roman Catholic, which is quite a bit of percentage. So it's pretty unanimous, I would say. The cultural background, well, it's really hard to define what is the cultural background. Mostly we have one culture background, but there's also groups within our country that have a separate cultural identity, I would say. So there are, I think, around 3 groups that possess this separate cultural identity, and they do think of themselves as Polish, but they also have this addition of, oh, I was born here. So for example, there's the we call them, it's called górale in Polish, and they live in the mountains, and basically they think of themselves as a separate cultural identity. However, they also think of themselves as Polish, and the language does vary a little bit with different pronunciation styles and a little bit of different words, but apart from that, they're just Polish, I would say. From the religious background, yeah, I think, like, yeah, as I said already, 95% is predominantly Roman Catholic, so Christian. However, we do have a Muslim community. We have, I think, around 13 mosques, something like that. And I mean, before the war, Poland was more, I would say, connected with the Jewish/Muslim community, but after the war, not so much, unfortunately. But we still do have different religions in Poland, and they're free to express themselves. However, it's not a large population that resides in Poland of minorities of religions. And the last one was about
the interracial between the peoples.
Yeah. The interracial relations. Mostly it is Caucasian. However, recently, because of social economic factors, a lot of South Koreans started to come, especially to Wrocław. So like that's where I live. Because of LG building it like factory here, and I think a lot of Vietnamese people also started like immigrating because of economical situation. A lot of Ukrainians, well, this is the same race, I would say, but it's because of social economical factors. So I think it's starting to be more mixed, but more, yeah, starting to become more mixed. But it's still predominantly Caucasian, if yeah, majority of it.
Oh, okay, I see. So thank you, Miss Julia, for sharing the information with us. So now I will pass to Miss Lau Zijun, who will continue with the interview.
Hi, Julia. My name is Lau Zijun, and I want to ask you about how well do you know about Malaysian people and the country itself?
I actually don't know much, I would say. I think I learned quite a bit through your presentation and when you were talking about different aspects of Malaysia. But before that, I didn't know much about the country itself. I know where it's located, but I don't know its culture more.
Okay, it's okay. Let me simple introduce Malaysia to you. Malaysia is a multicultural society with Malay, Chinese, Indian living side by side. In Malaysia, Malay are the large community, so the population for Malay is 50%, Chinese is 25%, and Indian is 10%, and other 15% is other races such as Kadazan, Jawa, dan Iban. The Malaysian people will say Bahasa Melayu, Chinese people will say Mandarin, Hokkien, Hakka, and Cantonese, and for Indian people will speak Tamil. So in Malaysia, all the people will use Bahasa Melayu during communication because Bahasa Melayu is our country language. Malaysia people will celebrate the National Day on 31 August every year in Merdeka Square in Kuala Lumpur, and we have firework display field to start the Independence Day celebration. There are three largest festival that people Malaysia will celebrate, which is Hari Raya, Chinese New Year, and Deepavali. So for Malay people will celebrate Hari Raya, Chinese people will celebrate the Chinese New Year, and for Indian people will celebrate the Deepavali. So that's all for me.
That's really interesting.
Thank you very much, and I will pass to Haziq Aiman. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, Miss Julia. My name is Haziq Aiman, and I hope that you are in the pink of health by today because of the COVID thing. So my question is, we would love to know about your country, and can you tell us about the interesting in about your country?
Oh, interesting things about my country. Well, from me just working in IT industry, I can tell you that we have the third most specialized IT developers in the world. I think the first ones are Chinese, second one are Russians or something like that, and then the third one's Polish. Overall, I think we still have a pretty unique culture as of European. We have very colorful traditional clothing. We have what's more unique about it? Well, the most I think unique aspect of Poland is that when Poland became independent, basically you had a country which was before divided by 2 or 3 powers, and then synonymously united into one. And there are still conflicts between obviously mindsets, but then you can go to Poland from west to east, and you can see how different it is. From east, it's very, I would say, Germanic, as it is that kind of influence. From west, it's Germanic, and to east, it's more, I think, Russian influence. But you also see a lot of very beautiful nature. And you can see how different influences can shape one country. I think that's pretty unique to what my country is. I don't know. Maybe what would you know? What would you want to know specifically?
For us, I think we like to know about the foods or the
Okay.
place that we can visit or something like that.
Okay. So So for the foods, I think that we have a very good variety of food, I would say, because we have sauerkraut, which is not very popular with a lot of Europeans. However, I love it. And we also have very diverse food, I would say, from other European nations, because we also have like it's something like haggis, but it's not haggis. It's like I mean, direct translation to Polish would be like a blood sausage, basically like, yeah, it's something like that, but there is no meat in it. It's just it's like a it's not paste, but it's like a grain kind of sausage, and because it appears to be black, they call it black sausage. We have pierogi, so our dumplings. We have a lot of we have a like a very Polish soup is called żurek, which is made from like a stale bread. I wouldn't say potion, but it's when you basically put water into on stale. Yeah, it's very unique. So I can't even like describe how it's exactly made. So
But
it's
it
like
sounds like pretty delicious, is it?
it's really good actually, because it's not your typical kind of soup. It's it's sour, but it has like eggs in it, and like meat if you want to add into it, and like mushrooms, and it's
Mm.
just like a soury soup. That's pretty good.
All
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
and places to visit. I mean, we have well, the capital, which is very different, I would think, from majority of Polish cities, older ones especially. Well, because it was bombarded during the war, so we had to rebuild it. um, so yeah, it's very very modern at this point. You have a basically skyscraper inner city, and then you have, which is the business district of it, and then you have like the old town, um, where it's a completely different style with white buildings all around you, and you feel more like you are in UK, I would say. Like it's a very that type of influence style. Um, and there's Krakow, which is one of the oldest cities in Poland. We have the I think it's called Lady with the Weasel, like one of the Leonardo da Vinci's paintings there, which is yeah, that's why I would visit it, because
We would
it's
love to
pretty.
visit it in the future if the pandemic is over. We would love
Yeah.
to visit Poland. Okay, I think that is all from me, and I will pass to Mr. Azim for the next question. Thank you very much, Miss Julia.
Okay, hi, Miss Julia. My name is Muhammad Azim. So I will continue with the next interview question. How can you describe the current situation of COVID-19 in your country?
Oh wow. so so the current situation is pretty bad, I would say. Despite the fact that we started off with the current pandemic with pretty okay measures, and it was I think it was handled very well in the beginning. And then because of the lack of restrictions during summer, people started to travel a lot. Um, and they usually travel to one place. So I think it was Croatia. Just because like you were only allowed to travel within Europe. So then a lot of people got infected out of that, and then they introduced another lockdown, which didn't really help the situation. Um, and right now, I think we have even higher numbers than UK at this moment. I know we have higher numbers than Germany. That's definitely from a country that was uh, that we had twice as little cases than Germany to going over UK. That's pretty significant. Um, I myself had coronavirus back in March. I'm fine. I didn't have a bad case of it, so I was good, and I'm good. Um, but yeah, I know a lot of people here that had it, and it's almost it's almost all everyone I know, I would say, or like majority of the people.
Oh,
Whoever you speak to, I think like even people from Germany or Netherlands is like they don't know a person that had it. Um, that's yeah. Another
okay.
aspect of it is that we don't have enough. Right now, we have a problem with the amount of beds in hospitals. So they're basically did like a emergency hospital up at the stadiums, the football stadiums, and they added like some thousands amount of bed there, but it's yeah, it's not a good situation at this point.
Okay, hope we'll recover soon. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you, Miss Julia.
Thank you.
Hi, Miss Julia. My name is Dimple.
Hey.
Okay, my question is, what are the steps taken by your government to protect the people of your country in order to fight with the pandemic of COVID-19?
Right. So, in my opinion, they don't do a lot, but they do definitely put some measures. Like we just had a, I think what today, it actually ended today, like a national lockdown where you basically weren't really allowed to leave your house, only to go grocery shopping, or if you wanted to go to the bank or something like that. They just opened up um, shops, but not restaurants. So I think that's also pretty smart because I don't know if you knew, but here we have restrictions that if you went into the restaurant, then you should have your mask on. But while you're eating, you have to take it off, which is kind of defeats the purpose because then you're spreading it in the restaurant. So I think that having the restaurants be open after Christmas, it's a good start in controlling the pandemic or at least flattening the curve. Um, and yeah, just a lot of uh, incentives that they put on us is what we were supposed to do or not. And yeah.
Okay, Miss Julia, it's same like Malaysians. Malaysian also having same like that, the steps all. And that's all from me, and I pass to Mr. Jalal.
Hi Julia, my name is Jalal. Okay, since currently you stated that you currently a student at Coventry, right? If I'm not mistaken. So currently you are doing online learning or going to campus?
Online learning, online learning, despite the fact that when the pandemic started and the lockdown started, the initial stages of it, so the second lockdown, we did have it in class due to the fact that one like my classes are very small, so we had I think less than 15 people in one class, which was fine. That was I think the restriction was up to 20. However, then they decreased the number and we had to go online, and we're online from the month of October, fully online.
Also, how do you adapt with the current online learning? Is it struggle with you?
Not really. I think I adapted well to it. I think we have a good support system from our university and a clear guidelines of what we're supposed to do. So it's not really hard. But I think that you do feel that you know less because of it, just because of the amount of self-study that you have to do.
Oh, okay. That's all from me.
Hi, Miss Julia. My name is Dawa Mother. So my question to you is, does the pandemic of COVID-19 have any effect on the economy and the lifestyle of the people in your country?
Lifestyle, definitely. Since I know a lot of people are complaining about the fact that they want to go out with their friends and they can't because everything is closed and you're not really supposed to visit each other. So there's a lot of lonely people. I've heard that from my mother. She has some work colleagues that are basically planning their divorces right now because they just, I don't know, like they just realized that they couldn't be with their current partner. So I think that a lot of lifestyle changes have been introduced, especially in my university, since it already stated that this, even if the pandemic will end, we'll have at least some online classes because they see how it's beneficial for us. So I think just more and more people will go online as to do their work or studying. And for economy, I mean, I don't really know, apart from the fact that our currency decreased compared to euro. That I think that's about it. I think we're doing pretty okay economically wise, just because we're more of a transport country and that's still ongoing. Yeah, I think we're okay.
Okay, Miss Julia, thank you so much, and you look very beautiful.
Thank you so much, you too.
Thank you for the questions, everyone. Hi, greetings, Miss Julia. I'm Kiva here. I'm hereby to conclude this interview. From this above interview, we could totally understand exploring the culture and country's background and the multiple relationship between languages and cultures and the way these work at an individual level. We considered intercultural encounters and how people from one culture may lead to make generalizations about those another culture. We could also understand the importance, particularly within the professional environment and when operating on a global level, of intercultural and multicultural cultural perspectives and insights. So despite of all the mentioned before, myself, I have a question, but I'll explain it to you what is that. I believe that there is some similarities in terms of food that I know between Malaysia and Poland. And I found that in Malaysia, we used to have dumplings. And in Poland, we could find that saying that pierogi, is it?
Yeah, yes, it is.
But in Malaysia, we used to eat with meat inside. But in Poland, we found that it's vegetarian. Like there's vegetarian,
Yeah.
is it?
It's both. I think that a lot of people add different flavors to the dumplings
Yes.
themselves. So it is vegetarian. It is with meat if you want it. It's
Yeah.
with you can make it sweet. So some people add, for example, blueberries into them, and it actually is good. Like it doesn't sound like it because it's a sour food, but then because the dough itself isn't really sweetened or soured or salted, it just becomes
Yes.
sweet, and you eat it, for
Yes.
example, with sugar. So it really depends. But yeah, most people I think eat it like a vegetarian would with like, I don't know, mushrooms, for example.
Yes. And also poppy seed cake, waffles, and bagels. That's
Yes.
the similarities that I found from in between Malaysia and Poland's food culture. And we're coming up to the end. That's a very good and informative explanation that you have provided to us. We could totally understand all your sharings. We are wholeheartedly inviting you to visit our country after this COVID-19 pandemic, and in order for you to understand and experience more about our unique country, which is famous for multicultural society and cultural diversity. Hereby, we are stopping at the final minute of the interview session. We have achieved so much in the interview. We have been here and gained a lot of it ourselves too. I fully enjoyed this interview today enormously, and I believe everyone enjoyed it too. As the representative of my group, I would like to say a big thank you for an enlightening and entertaining interview, for giving a lot of information for us, and also giving us an opportunity and your time to interview you. You did such a great job for us, and it's very nice meeting you too. I'm ending my words here, and thank you so much to everyone, ladies and gentlemen. And as they say, north of the border, safe home and stay safe. Merry Christmas, Julia.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the interview. It was really lovely.
Right. So we are going to have our last session, which is the photograph. So I hope everyone ready. I will count on into 3. Iza, would you like to join us?
Do you want me to join?
Alright, depends. Do you
No,
want
it's
it?
okay. It's okay.
All
I
right.
haven't joined.
Okay, everyone ready? Okay, in 1, 2, 3. All right. Everyone taken? Okay. Yeah, I will do a one more. One more. Hold up. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, that's all from us, Miss Julia. We really appreciate your time and effort to do this interview with us, and we all hope that you are stay safe in your country because of this pandemic. And yeah, it's lovely to meeting you, and we hope that we will see you in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope so too. I hope you also stay safe during the pandemic and that it's not too much of a burden on you, because I know that a lot of restrictions can be annoying, especially because it has been going for over a year now.
Yeah, nearly a year for Malaysia because we started in March. So yeah. So everyone say bye bye to Miss Julia.
Bye, Miss Julia. Bye bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Bye bye.